Two-year-old fillies come to the yard for the Sporting Bet Blue Diamond Prelude Stakes. Terrific race. There's the market. Earthquake is your favourite. Ahead of Eloping. Is that support against it? I might say 7-6. Laid back filly for Dale. Look at her. She just a bit of the black caviar's a bit of the head down and just wandering along saying, what's on next here?
Top Dolly. Eloping at the 5:50, 3/4 clear. Earthquake moved up to second, followed by Topsight Piacenza. A length and a half, Snits and Bits as they neared the turn, and then Mumbai Rock niggled wide from Golconda. Singularity, Royal Ocean, Lamosty and Top Dolly. Eloping leads around the home turn. Earthquake just wobbled slightly, and she's now given full ball by Brown. Eloping by neck to Earthquake, and they're 2 lengths to Piacenza. The rest were boxing on, headed by Lamosty. Now Earthquake given a slap with the whip, and she answers and kicks away with great acceleration. 3 lengths pouring away from them. And it's Earthquake winning it easily from about 3 lengths to Eloping, and Lamosty got up for third, just in front of Topsight and Piacenza, followed by...
At Caulfield to see the exciting now Park Coolmore owned Rubik. 2-year-olds with Rubik, of course. Coolmore announcing today that they had bought a share with the current 4 partners' ratings and marks based on performance. So this is as good a 2-year-old as we've had in the modern era.
Malaguera, Uncle Keithy. Nostradamus is a fair way back with Pure Addiction, followed by Searle, Chivalry and Stratum Star coming around the turn. Rubik against the inside. He's done a bit of work, but he cornered, and he cornered beautifully too. Led by 2 lengths Mojave. Down the outside now, Jabali starting to finish off fairly well, followed by Francesco. Rubik is clear. He's 2 lengths in front. Jabali's running on pretty well on the outside of Dulles. Pulled the whip on Rubik. He's 2 Jabali. Chivalry coming home with Nostradamus. Rubik's in front. There might not be a lot there, but he's got in by a length. Second Jabali, Flying Chivalry will get third ahead of Nostradamus. Cornrow, Francesco, Stratum Star ran well, followed by Duckworth and Malaguera. Then came Mojave, followed, would you believe it, exactly the same time.
1-3-7-1 for the girls, 1-3-7-1 for the boys. They both got their jobs done today, but they got the job done.
Earthquake favourite from Rubik, and then they obviously dominate the equation there. Of course,
a gallop short. The key to these 2 2-year-olds is who can cope. The filly had the easier run. That horse had a gut buster. Some horses can bounce off a gut buster, some can't. He can go home and be a sook for the next, 3 weeks. That might be the end of him, but it might be the making of him as well. We won't know that until Blue Diamond Day.
He's lost in the day, and also, of course, on the Racing Review on TVN tomorrow.
It is between runners at the tail, but it's Lankan Rupee who's doing it quite comfortably by a half a length. First Commander's second, a length and a half away, Better Than Ready down on the inside. Followed Diamond Oasis, and Pocket Rockets is coming on as they cornered into the straight now, and Lankan Rupee by a length and a half. Running second on the outside, First Command. Diamond Oasis coming home fairly well, and then came Iconic, but it's Lankan Rupee. 100 to go by 2 lengths. First Command drops off. Better Than Ready coming home with Iconic, but Lankan Rupee was never going to be beaten. Scored by 3 lengths. Iconic got up for second just ahead of First Command and Better Than Ready. Then Diamond Oasis. Lion of Belfort didn't come on, nor did Pocket Rockets at Accelerator last.
Hasn't he come back a star? 1-2.5 his run. Brilliant timing here. All of his own making, and you just sense when I think we're seeing a real emerging sprinter here.
I'll tell you what, it's going to take a good sprinter to beat this in the Oakley Plate. Boy, gee, look, we saw the difference.
For the Group 1, the first Group 1 of the calendar year. Sporting Bet CF4 Stakes, where Seamus Award is second favourite behind Moment of Change. Moment of Change is very tight.
They come up the side now, 800 left to go. Moment of Change by 2. Seamus Award does the chasing work, 2 in front of Eurozone and 2 lengths to Hawkspur. Teller and Finishing Card together at the rear of the field. So Moment of Change the leader, 600 left to go, 2.5 still. Seamus Award second, a length and a half Eurozone. Hawkspur close enough as they came towards the turn. They've run it fast, and Teller Finishing Card together at the end. 400 left to go. Moment of Change corners about 2 lengths in front. Seamus Award staying in his slipstream for as long as possible. Eurozone third. Moment of Change went to the 200. Now Williams eases over his heels on Seamus Award and says let's go. Moment of Change about a length in front. Seamus Award wants to lay in behind him. He won't get there. Eurozone's going to be the last closer. Moment of Change hanging on near the line. Eurozone dived. Just missed, I think. Moment of Change just from Eurozone. Seamus Award 2 lengths away third. Little disappointing late. Followed by Teller, and a break then Hawkspur and Finishing Card.
It's been a long time coming, but he's going to get this Moment of Change towards the Guineas and Australian Cup. And you just sense when Seamus Award wanted to lay in behind Moment of Change top of the...
Yeah, it was really... Yeah, I think Durozone's certainly the horse to follow. That was only his first preparation last time in, first run in Melbourne, so I think he's got a lot of improvement. I think he's the horse to follow.
Long John, past the 200 metres mark, 5 lengths in front of Safety Check, then Wet None. Emirates Flyer is running on, but the Spring Carnival form of Australia has come to Maidan in a big, big way, and Long John is an
Yes, Dubai during the week. That's Long John. He won the Caulfield Guineas, of course, going back to the spring of last year. That was his first run in Dubai, and Andrew will...
Black Caviar Lightning Stakes, a bit of light rain falling at Flemington at the moment. Track won't be affected by this. Here's the market for the Group 1. Comes up very short on the tote, this. I'm talking about Some Are Ready. You can see what price it is there now. It's been well tried on course ahead of Snitzelin, and
just comes back out marginally to 320. And the last couple...
10,000 metres at Group 1. They're racing. Some already jumped okay. Esprit de Bottle a bit awkward alongside of it, and also a bit slow with a move was Boomwa. Snitzelin got away well, and Burnaby began brilliantly in the leaders. And it's Snitzelin moving up outside. Burnaby, African Pulse close to the inside, is up with the leading bunch of horses, and Boomwa's recovered to be up fourth. Brilliant Bisque plotting a solo course out wide on the course, isn't too far away. They're followed by Aeronautical Sham Express. Back behind them is Some already, and being desperately ridden at the moment and needing to get a real burst from there. Followed by Big Eddie, Pago, Rock, Esprit de Bullets well back in the field, and so too Unpretentious. It's Snitzelland going great guns with Sham Express chasing hard now. It's Sham Express after Snitzelland. He just wanted to roll it a bit, and then Unpretentious and Some are ready. Snitzelland is in front. The little girl's holding on, and Snitzelland's got a Group 1. She's won it by a half. Sham Express second. Some already got up for third. Close for fourth, Unpretentious or Pago Rock. Ahead.
Brilliant win by Gerald Ryan's filly here, Snitzelland, and fitting for Neil Werrett, of course, senior partner of Black Caviar, and there his colours carried the year after her trilogy by Brenton Avdulla to win here in great style. Just travels so sweetly on the bridle up the straight here. Looked as though Sham
wins next week. I think we'll all be on cloud 9.
Won the Mornington Cup, and you give someone else a chance then, Neil. You're having a great run. I know you love it, and enjoy your race.
Yeah, Snitzelland, that was a first Group 1, and she deserved it too. Brenton Avdulla was on board, and he's our special guest.
She's obviously a 1,000-metre track record holder at Warwick Farm, and Gerald spoke to me in the morning. He said, "What do you want to do?" And I said, "Well, there's no point, you know, trying to go too slow. If I can just control the tempo at her own rhythm early, and then just make it an improving 3 furlong gallop, that'll be in her best interest." And you know, she did the rest.
Thoroughbred Breeders Stakes for the mares, and looking forward to a fantastic contest, Bison. Well, the favourite White Sage, she's not that yet. She's 280 to 270, but she is unbeaten. 5 from 5, stepping up to group company.
Pins. So the leader at the 600 metres at the halfway mark steps in time. Catkins is in second spot. It's left the fence and is now coming to the outside of steps in time. Then White Sage getting up near the inside, followed by Drafontaine. Streamer a little bit out sprinted when they quicket, and then Shani Rose. So steps in time in front with Catkins a length and a half. White Sage has got a really lift here. She's still a couple of lengths behind them, and then Drafontaine steps in time in front. Catkins the grey on the outside is trying to get to it, and then 2 lengths to White Sage, steps in time just in front. Catkins on the outside. Can she do it 3 years in a row? Steps in time. She's just in front. Catkins lunged. Catkins, I think, got there right on the post. I think Catkins by a nose steps in time. Third, White Sage. Then
looks like 3. Catkins on the outside may have just nutted. Steps in time, trying to make it 3 Breeders' Classics in a row. Catkins. Number 3's your winner, ladies and gentlemen. Number 3 will get it. Catkins. Hugh Bowman for Chris Waller. The grade 2 steps in time. And 6 White Sage. Forget about the price. She was good. She's still got to take that step to this grade, but she acquitted herself.
I'm sure she'll be listening in or watching.
Hills there at Rosehill, unfortunately, but a good day of racing on Saturday. Hugh Bowman was...
Randwick, the feature race. This is the Schweppes Apollo Stakes, and I can tell you the mare in appearance, she is the favourite here. She's 270 ahead of Boban, $3.
So ridden, Boban's taking off from the back of the field, but he's out 4 wide. Appearances just inside in, and Moriarty last of all. They're jamming right up here. They haven't gone all that quickly. And How Much Do You Love Me led with 500 to go. A length on Alma's Fury, followed by Speediness, and then in behind them Tremec, followed by Raindrum. Boban was next. Appearance will follow it into the straight, and Moriarty on the inside. As they come up the rise now, and Speediness up the centre is moving out after How Much Do You Love Me, followed by Boban. Appearance Appearances now starting to run on with Rain Drum as they get to the 200. Speediness collared by Appearance. She's coming quickly down the centre of the track and she takes the lead. Appearance. She has sprinted away. She's a length and a half in front. She is racing in great form at the moment. Goes on to beat Speediness. A blanket finish for the Miners. Moriarty Boban. How Much Do You Love Me was up there. Rain Drum Album.
No consolation, but 121.97, 35.26, 35.26, 1.5 by a short neck, 10-4.
A blanket finish.
What a beauty. What more do you need to say about her? Guy Walter, of course, handles her, has done so throughout the career, and, well, she's a real star.
She's flying. And
dominance in her 2 wins back. She's an outstanding mare, and you just have to trust your eye sometime, and it'll take a very good horse to beat her in anything she can test, because...
For the Peter Young Stakes, Fioronte, the Melbourne Cup winner of November, just gone, and Green Moon from the year before. They're going. Tremendous Fioronte, Shane, and the key to looking at him right now is seeing those blinkers on him.
Star Rolling leads down the side, 2 in front of Green Moon, a length and a half Pakal outside of Miriam, being followed then by God Has Spoken, Bass Straight. Fiorente is next on the outside, still about 6 or 7 away, followed by Fortella and Let's Make a Deal. Star Rolling before the turn. He leads by a length to Green Moon, who's come off his heels and is sooled along by Williams. 2 in front of Pakal. Here's Fiorente starting to wind up with his run. He's got 5 to make up as they cornered. Star Rolling into the straight, led by 2 lengths now to Green Moon. Fiorente struggling next on the outside. Back behind those is Pakal. Star Rolling, he's getting a little tired. Green Moon's coming at him. Now Fiorente starting to lift on the outside. Still Star Rolling just in front. Fiorente's going to lunge with Murian getting up on the inside, but Fiorente, he's won it by a head. A big win from Murian second, Star Rolling third, and then Picard and Fortella. Green Moon next over the line.
Well, too much class. Absolutely brilliant. Too much class here, Fioronte. I know Greg Corley might have looked to be come back and set the track alight again.
It is great, Bruce. Yeah, he's a star of the turf and great horse.
Geez, he's a serious beast and he's in for a massive campaign.
I think your point, Rich, is...
So, yeah, he's an exciting horse. He's a stayer who's got a turn of foot, and that is a great asset.
Up over 1,800 metres, Ron.
Yeah, look, he's a star, isn't he? He's an absolute superstar. Look,
Stakes $1 million contest for the 2-year-olds, and what a great lineup we have this year, headed by a terrific colt in Rubik and a brilliant filly in Earthquake. The market's telling us it's turned right around big time here. It's been all Earthquake.
Last of all, up to the home turn they race now, and it's Nayeli leading narrowly. On the outside is Rubik, followed by Boomwire under pressure, and then came Jabali waiting on a run right behind them, followed by Mojave, and Earthquake comes to the outside, and then came Nostradamus. Rubik shot to the front early in the straight. Jabali's coming after him from Boomwire. Here comes Earthquake. She's starting to storm home. It's Rubik at the 150, grabbed in a stride by Earthquake. Jabali's in the middle, but it's Earthquake who's bounded away now. Earthquake racing away to win the diamond, scored by 2 lengths. Jabali, Cornrow's got up for third and Rubik 4, followed by Boomwire, Nostradamus, Chivalry flashing home, Zululand followed by Mojave, and then came Malaguera. Behind those to finish was Piacenza, struck for third and Rubik 4.
Well, Darley's won it with a great colt, and Seapoy now had a brilliant filly in Earthquake, 3 for 3, only third start into a Blue Diamond Stakes, and round the favourite, punters rallied. 198.
We've seen in recent times, certainly the last decade, I would have thought in sheer depth, she absolutely flogged them. Were you surprised at all by just the ease of the win?
I was really taken by the prelude win because, to me, she had...
Job with his second and third, and he's happy with them. There's your market for the Oakley Plate. Mick here with Lankan Rupee up against Darley again with Neudart. Tremendous sprint coming up, so competitive. Look.
Caddis and Iconic. Neudart's a good way back in the field. Bell Sprinter third last, followed by Richie's Vibe and Magnus Rain. Running to the home turn now, and it's Menage on the inside, and Kuroshio leading by a length and a half to Vatican First Command. They're being followed by Lankan Rupee, Gregors and Flambeuse. The widest followed by Dystopia. Around the turn, and Kuroshio and Menage by 2 or 3 lengths. On now, Lankan Rupee, Vatican followed by Gregors, and back behind them, Sharmal Winters darting up on the inside. It's Menage, but Lankan Rupee pounced at the 100 and sprinted away. Lankan Rupee 2-3 lengths in front. Gregor's running on with Spirit of Boom, but Lankan Rupee scored in the Oakley Plate by a length and a half. Second, Spirit of Boom, and flying home. Neudart might grab third ahead of Gregors, followed then by Flambeuse Sharp.
He's only been beaten once since he's been Galvin, and there were plenty of excuses that night at the Valley.
But I think we've all got to be a little bit in awe of Lankan Rupee. He's having the same one. He was gelded as well, and it's been there's two of them that have been gelded and completely turned their form around. And he is just
he's got to be one of the best sprinters in Australia.
I think he's the best sprinter in Australia at the moment, right now.
I think we've got a couple.
Let's look back over the Maribyrnong towards the city as we get ready for the Group 1 Australian Guineas. Great field with the Cox Plate winner to head them off here in Seamus Award. Eurozone for the James and Bark Cummings combination. Huckleback from South Australia for Phil Stokes. And then a very strong supporting cast trying to take it.
Last of all, so Seamus Award leads, 800 left to go. He's 3/4 clear. Eurozone second, a length and a half to surge ahead. Prince Arata fourth, 2 in front of Bartum as they sweep down to the turn, and then Artie Shaw. Late charge has been wide. They're followed by Rock Hero, well back still along the inside as they come around the turn, and then Criterion Thunder Fantasy. Well back in the field is the quarterback as they swing around the turn, and Hucklebuck's amongst the end. He's trying to barge out. Terranado keeps him in a pocket, but now he's clear. But is he too far back? 3:50 to go. Seamus Award by a length to Eurozone, and they've got away there. 3 in front of Prince Arata, trying his heart out down the outside. A long way back is Hucklebuck still, but Seamus Award below the 200. Williams pulls the whip. He holds Eurozone at bay. Prince Arata, Criterion, they're coming now down the outside. Seamus Award in front of Criterion and Thunder Fantasy. Seamus Award all the way. He wins it from Criterion by a length. Thunder Fantasy might get up to third ahead of Eurozone, and close up between horses there was Surge ahead. Terranado.
Yes, he's done what very few 3-year-olds have done winning Cox Plate, but to back it up with the Guineas, it puts him in very rare air. It's a pretty good one to get.
Good on you, Danny. Well done.
Thanks, guys.
Sean Buckley. Thunder Fantasy to be confirmed, but Fioronte at even money. Seamus Award 460 for
Low 7 for the first of the feature races. This is the Millie Fox for the mares, and a Group 2 race here as the first of our features. Of course, Red Tracer, she's won it the last 2 years. She's a clear-cut favourite, $1.60 into $1.50.
At the 500 metre mark, Longport about to be challenged by a Time for Julia. Red Tracer still stalking them. Lucky Largo stayed on the fence, and then Dreyfontaine followed by Royal Descent as they draw to the 300 metre mark. A Time for Julia sprinted to the front. Red Tracer's poised behind it, coming after it now. Can she make it 3 years in a row? She went to the front now, Red Tracer. She showed a dazzling turn of foot and raced away from a Time for Julia and Lucky Largo. And here's 3 years in succession for Red Tracer. Beats a Time for Julia. Lucky Largo got third, then Royal Descent.
She's a star. She's a star of the Australian racing scene. Number 1, Red Tracer, the dual Group 1 winner, and that was nothing more than an exhibition gallop. $1.20 for number 1, Red Tracer, $2.70 for a Time for Julia.
Oh, she's just a star, Richard, and she Red Tracer. I know the wet's a tick, but she's class. She's Group 1. And
here for one of the important features, the Silver Slipper Stakes. But Richie, importantly, that is Moss Fun, unencumbered, $4.80 into $4.20.
Modoc, they're preparing to swing. About 500 to go, and Laws just in front of Moss Fun on the outside, and then came the other filly, Press Report, followed by Risen from Doubt, unencumbered. Berry's about to pop the question to it, and further back behind them, Hampton Court and Modoc. Moss Fun coming out after Law in the early part of the straight. Law's just the leader, but now Moss Fun given full rein, has put her head in front, and she sprinted, unencumbered, coming down the outside, but Moss Fun's raced away. 100 metres to go. It's all Moss Fun. She'll remain undefeated and really stamp herself as a good filly. Comes down to beat Press Report. Risen from Doubt third, followed by Law. They both stumbled near the post, and then came unencumbered Modoc and...
Wow. Is she going to be up to the Golden Slipper? After that, you'd be a brave man to say she's not. 3 from 3. You'd be a brave man to say she's not. 3 from 3. These filly by Mossman. James McDonald.
The horse looking at him. But
weekend now as we get towards the big one. Earthquake's still favourite, but Moss Fun has trimmed right up to $8. Fillies have won.
Favourite though is Summer Ready at $4.20 in front of Sham Express. Lankan Rupee, and then double figures the remainder. But great depth in this year.
Back Summer Ready working to the outside. Mr. Milton's well back in the field, and so too Unpretentious over on the outside, and Elbrecht is one of the last. Fodolita's made grounded. He's just behind the leading bunch against the rail. So Burnaby joined again by Flamberge. Lankan Rupee right there on the outside. Then Sham Express working home along the inside, and Noidart's finishing off well, and Summer Ready's coming on down the outside, followed by Pago Rock. They're racing to the 200 metres now, and Lankan Rupee commits and sprints away from the horses chasing him. Down the outside was Summer Ready. Spirit of Boom's coming home, and further back is Flamberge and Noida, but Lincoln Rupee is clear of Spirit of Boom, and he's flying. Lincoln Rupee far too good. Beat Spirit of Boom by over 2. Noida third, Sham Express fourth. Inside, and Noidart's finishing off well, and Summer Ready's coming on down the outside, followed by Pago Rock. They're racing to the 200 metres now, and Lincoln Rupee commits and sprints away from the horses chasing him. Down the outside was Summer Ready. Spirit of Boom's coming home, and further back is Flamberge and Noida, but Lincoln Rupee is clear of Spirit of Boom, and he's flying. Lincoln Rupee far too good. Beat Spirit of Boom by over 2. Noida third, Sham Express fourth, and fifth over Flamberge, and then Summer Ready, Mr. Milton, followed by Albrecht, and then Pago Rock, unpretentious.
Shortly, and hopefully tomorrow on Racing Review, but what a performance by Lincoln Rupee. The unprofessional.
We kept saying what a really deep field it was, and yet he's, well, I'm looking at the photo finish here. You can't see another horse. He won by 2 1/4 lengths with a length.
Noida third, Sham Express fourth.
Wow, spectacular. 1, 2, 3 home the Oakley Plate. 1, 2, 3 home here, but that was the best of Lincoln Rupee. 6 starts as a gelding, 5 wins, Oakley Plate winner.
Second there, he got held up, momentum lost, but take nothing away from this winner. He's an absolute star, and look, he must come right into calculations, although he's had a few hard runs now for the TJ Smiths, nice and fresh. Spirit of Boom, well, how gallant is he? He's a big-time performer. He keeps trying.
Newmarket replicating the for the Darley Australian Cup, and what a mouth-watering contest it is, with the Melbourne Cup winner and the Cox Plate champion doing battle again. The 3-year-old had the older. He certainly presents, you might say, better.
And he's been 220 down to 205, so been a bit of a go here.
At the end of the field, so the Australian Cup field is being led down towards the 800 by Seamus Award. He's had a really good run in front. A half clear, Green Moon is second. Murrian moving up on the outside to keep Star Rolling pocketed behind the leader. They're followed Valeurs to Kerr, Thunder Fantasy. Fiorente next on the outside of Foreteller, and Let's Make a Deal last of all. On the turn for home, Seamus Award from Green Moon on the outside, and moving up is Murrian. Just behind them now, Fiorente pulls to the outside. Ollie riding him along to try and get into the race. Seamus Award at the 400 from Green Moon. Star Rolling. Fiorente a further couple of lengths away on the outside, and back behind those horses, Let's Make a Deal. It's now with 200 metres to go. Sham Award just the leader from Green Moon, and Fiorente. What a battle this is. It's a beauty. 100 left to go. Fiorente and Green Moon raced away. It's Fiorente coming home the better though, and Fiorente wins the Australian Cup 3/4 to Green Moon. Foreteller flashed home and got third, and then Valeurs to Kerr, followed further back in the field then by Murrian, who battled away well. Let's Make a Deal next over from Thunder Fantasy and Star Rolling, and Seamus Award dropped out and he's finished last.
Wow, what a race, what a horse he is, Fiorente. A Melbourne Cup all up into an Australian Cup. A brilliant result for all involved here. 101 Group 1s for Ollie, a first Australian Cup for Gai Waterhouse.
Sticks his head out and wants to beat the other horses.
Rich?
You say that, Damien. I was interested to hear you say a middle distance galloper. He has won a Melbourne Cup. What do you think's his best go?
Best trip, I reckon around 1.5 miles, Richie. I think is about his best trip.
I just can't believe you.
Special mention to Green Moon, as you said. You know, they've both won a Melbourne Cup. They've Cornelled a Melbourne Cup in 2012 as well. Moraine.
Program race 4 at Warwick Farm is the Wiggle Stakes. Can Catkins keep on going on her winning way? Most people think she can. She's a firm favourite here, but a really smart bunch of mares line up here. Catkins the first up, 3 weeks between the runs, and she is the horse to beat.
Chris. Take up the running now from Catkins, who's poised perfectly behind them in third spot. Della Bell, 600 out. Any day will do on the inside. Just a leader from She's a Girl. The odds-on favourite stalks them. Catkins third. Jolie Bays dropped the bit, and then Fire Up Fifi. Dare Demi commencing a move, and Scorpio Queen's on the outside of it. They turn for home now, and Catkins is going after. Any day will do as the leader as they make the run into the straight. Catkins now sprinted up and hit the lead. Dare Demi's running on down the outside with Scorpio Queen, but Catkins is the one they've got to get past. She's travelling well. She sprinted. She got away from Dare Demi. Shani Rose is running on, but she's a great mare. Catkins goes on to beat Shani Rose, Dare Demi, then Scorpio Queen, Fire Up Fifi, Miss Della Bell. Any day will do. Then Diamond Drill.
She was excellent today in the Cerise upon us, the Group 1 Shivy Norton Stakes at Wait for Age over the mile. Runners are in the yard for this.
And great to see him here this afternoon. He looks like he can nearly run again, Rich.
For sure, no doubt.
And then Boban and It's a Done Deal, they're racing together, followed by Prince Sherry and Hawkspur's on the inside last of all. They're coming up to the 650 now, and some moves are about to be made here. Order of the Sun's being tackled now by Moriarty, who's gone through in the centre and poked his head in front. Glencaddam Gull was next, followed by on the outside It's a Done Deal starting to rev up, followed by Monton. Boban was next, and then further back behind them as they make the home turn, Prince Sherry and then Hawkspur. It's a Done Deal has now sprinted up on the outside. Boban starting to chase him, and then came Moriarty. It's a Done Deal in front. Boban is looking a big threat though. Boban's raced up on the outside. He's taken the lead from It's a Done Deal, and the band's back together. Schofield and Boban. They beat It's a Done Deal. Third was Hawkspur, followed by Moriarty, and then came in behind them next over the line Monton.
Schofield, he was absolutely bolting. Chris Waller watched the race here with Brian York and I. We're coming the turn. I said, Huey's pushed the button early. And wow, he's a super horse, Boban, and Lincoln Rupee and Boban being gelded, and they're different horses, aren't they?
Sure are.
That's it. Here today, it was a beautiful ride, and you know that's the horse that he's top. I think there's probably more improvement in the second horse. In It's a Done Deal. I mean, a horse...
Something like that. And we're about 10 to 11 minutes away from start time, so we might take the chance to...
How Much Do You Love Me? Kick further ahead now, 600 to go. It's straight away. Led a length and a half, El Rocker, My Destiny and Terra Vista. Then Malavio's being hard ridden, followed by Spurtonic, Pinwheel. White Sage is giving them a bit of a start, but starting to roll into it around the outside from Ninth Legion. As they turn for home, El Rocker and How Much Do You Love Me about to be claimed by Terra Vista. My Destiny got an inside run. It's El Rocker and Terra Vista. They've hit the lead together. Terra Vista on the outside now gets the upper hand. Gets about a neck in front of El Rocker, who ducked in, and then came Ninth Legion. It's Terra Vista. El Rocker's fighting back. Terra Vista, El Rocker. Terra Vista. I think Terra Vista just beat El Rocker in a photo, and then we've got Pinwheel in a photo for third with Ninth Legion and...
Performance, Jason Collett and Joe Pride. He's come back with a vengeance. 2 out of 2 this preparation. 7 Terra Vista, 360 on the totes in New South Wales, 370 on kilos.
Go. Let's have a look at the market here. The horses just starting to come into the yard for the first of the big group ones here this afternoon. El Rocker, 320. Bull Point, $7.
About 700 to go. Dissonant is the leader now. He leads by about a neck on in second spot. Romantic Touch, El Rocker is just behind them. He's getting a lovely trail, followed by Hooked. Eurozone rolls forward out wide. Atlante off the bit in the centre. Corabiti travelling up on the rail, and then Savvy Nature. Criterion pulling wide, and so too is Bull Point. They're about to swing, and the leader Dissonant from Romantic Touch, but Bowman's bringing El Rocker with his run now. He's about to go after Dissonant, followed by Hooked. Eurozone is starting to chime in as well, but El Rocker sprinted up and joined Dissonant. Eurozone's a half away on the outside. It's Dissonant and El Rocker fighting it out. Dissonant and El Rocker and Dissonant, they had a bit of a bump. Dissonant's kicking back on the inside after El Rocker got to him. They hit the line. Dissonant beat El Rocker, Eurozone, Terranado. Then came Hook, followed by Atlante and Savvy Nature. Then Tupac Amaru, Romantic Touch, Corabiti.
Clouds still rolling over Randwick. Lots and lots of bolt lightning. So the jockeys, they're all...
In about 18.
Resuming here against, well, we've got Let 'Em Have It down the bottom. Oh, sorry, not listening to me, I should say. Down the bottom was backed in this morning heavily, but Zoostar's back as favourite. Red Tracer, of course, sure loved the conditions. $3.80 second favourite. Now to another multiple Group 1 winner in appearance, $6, and out to $17.
Good money for appearance. $6.50 into $5.50. Streamer, 14 out to 19. Red Tracer, ooh, $4 into $3.30. Well backed. And then the 2 3-year-olds, Zoostar and Not Listed.
Kingdom of Five, Appearance and Toydini, the stablemates last. Well, he held Rain Affair back, and now he's let him run, and he's dashed away with a lead of about 4 or 5 from Not Listen to Me. Zoostar's getting the head up a little bit on the rail, and then came Speed Innocent, Streamer, followed by Sacred Falls. Red Tracer was next, followed by My Kingdom of Five, Toydini, and Appearances last of all. Rain Affair about 6 in front. Zoostar's railed up to do the chasing with Not Listening to Me, so the 2 3-year-olds will have to set out after this leader in a moment. Then Speed in it, followed by Streamer. Red Tracer pulled wide. Sacred Falls goes up near the inside. Rain Affair still about 4 in front, led from Zoostar and Not Listening to Me. Red Tracer still being coupled by the rider, starting to run on, and so is Appearance. Rain Affair ducked to the fence. The mares are starting to swoop now. It's Appearance coming down the centre. She's hit the lead. Appearance, she's unstoppable, and she goes on to win it from Not Listening to Me and Red Tracer. Then Sacred Falls, followed by Toydini. Tony, then Streamer, followed by Speediness, Rain Affair, Zoo Star, at last.
Oh, she's unstockable. Another Group 1 to her. Appearance beats the 3-year-old Not Listening to Me. Red Tracer was super after bunding the start and getting into a little bit of awkward trouble. And the worry was Zoo Star. He just wanted to go too keenly. He never relaxed today. She's good. 1,200 up to the mile. And Kieran...
she's come back in distance today and just done it again. She's just an outstanding mare.
That's 4 Group 1.
It's worth waiting for, wasn't it? 45-minute delay in the race, and she was outstanding. Unbeaten this campaign. She's won 9 of 19. She's won 4 Group 1s. It's here, Sham Express, Summer Ready and Thump. Spirit of Boom, not far away. So this is a great race. Faulkner ran in the race last year. Of course, Black Caviar's won 2 of the past 3.
Set for the main race of the night. They're off. Caught them well. Gregor's away with a brilliant start on the outside. Goes to the lead ahead of Thump and Samariti hustling through along the inside. They're 2 lengths on Fontalina. She inside to be 3rd. And then Sham Express in 4th placing. 3 deep around Fontalina, and it is written. Spirit of Boom next getting a card into the race on the back of Sham Express. They're followed Unpretentious, Faulkner and Gig as they went by the 600 metres now. Samariti tried to slow the tempo, but here's now Cassidy moving up on Thump to put the pressure on with the other filly Gregors. They're the 3 leaders ahead of Sham Express. Spirit of Boom starting to pick up the ground on the outside, and then Fontalina. They're coming around the turn now. Gregors and Samariti, the 2 fillies are duelling. Sham Express and Spirit of Boom are starting to come home well on the outside. Into the straight now. Gregors grabbed by Spirit of Boom. Sham Express, Samariti. Here's Unpretentious coming down the outside. Spirit of Boom in front with about 50 metres to go. He's clinging on for his first Group 1 in a line-up, and Fontalina dived it in the inside. Spirit of Boom, Fontalina in a photo. Express and Spirit of Boom are starting to come home well on the outside. Into the straight now. Gregor's grabbed by Spirit of Boom. Sham Express, Samariti. Here's Unpretentious coming down the outside. Spirit of Boom in front with about 50 metres to go. He's clinging on for his first Group 1 in a line-up, and Fontalina dived it in the inside. Spirit of Boom, Fontalina in a photo. A close go, and it's close for 3rd too between Unpretentious and Gregors, and just off them Sham Express. Between Spirit of Boom and on the inside Fontalina, who's flashed home and made it very...
Fontalina gets... Spirit of Boom gets it. Number will go up here. Spirit of Boom 2 for Tony Gollan. Finally gets the Group 1. 2 Spirit of Boom wins it for him. And he finally just realises it, that he's actually won it. Spirit of Boom. So well deserved here. 2, 4, 6 and up.
I thought we won on the line, then I thought we got beat, and now we've won. So it's been amazing. He's given us a great ride, this horse, for a long whole thing with the Booms and Eureka, and all my clients have been fantastic. These horses, you know, I was training Class 1 winners at Toowoomba and training Group 1 winners at Moonee Valley now, so it's been a good trip. And
it's a great race and well deserved. Good scenes for Tony Gollan, who was went from cheering to worrying to cheering again. And Michael Rod, I've never seen Michael so emotional after the race. He goes back to his days with Tony's dad Darryl, and Bossy. Well, it was one that got away for him. He was just absolutely devastated that Fontalina, not through anything other than...
Looks like the inside gets it there.
And favourite, $1.50. She's come in from, Richo.
Yeah, $1.50 into $1.45. She is the Blue Diamond winner. She's 3 from 3. She's the dominant 2-year-old. She gets a chance.
500 out. Earthquake with a narrow lead over Moss Fun. These 2 favourites are fighting it out at the moment from She's a Lady as they turn. Then Twirl at the head of the others, followed by Alpha Miss. So Earthquake just the leader. Moss Fun on the outside. They're both sitting pretty quietly. The riders now. McAvoy starts to shake up Earthquake. Gets about a half a length on Moss Fun. Down the outside, more Radiance putting in a run. And then Alpha Miss, but Earthquake is in front. She wants to wander towards the middle of the track. She's hanging on at the moment from Moss Fun. And Earthquake's going to be too good and beat Moss Fun. And third's close between Alpha Miss and More Radiant from Lucky Racky. Then
you don't want it over again, but the dominant Golden Slipper favourite, the Tooheys New Golden Slipper favourite, gets the job done and makes it 4 from 4. Then the Parramatta Lees Club Riesling Stakes, 150 into 145. And I tell you what, I love to see jockeys like that. He rode her like she was the good thing. $1.50 into $1.45.
Very positive ride by Karen McAvoy. Rode as though she was the best filly in the...
Between Alpha Miss and More Radiant from Lucky Racky.
She just keeps on winning. And Peter Snowden says there's
More to come from her. I mean, she's one they've got to beat. Moss Fun was tremendous yesterday. I mean, they're the top two as we hear, Karen. What price is the favourite? $2.10. And yes, yeah, well done. Out of that line there, of course, Oakley Girl's the intrigue to mine to some extent. Just goes into the race fresh.
Either she's a superstar and is going to go on and win the slipper by a couple of lengths and dominate the others, or it's a pretty open slipper behind that, and you could definitely win it with Moss Fun. You know, I think the slipper is about Earthquake at the moment. Whether she goes forward and is completely dominant, or whether it's an open race.
Yeah, like as James. Agree, although the winner is dominant there, Earthquake, and she had a month off and no trial leading into that. But look, no one's saying Moss Fun's a wet tracker because she's got the form on the board on dry tracks as well. But if we get a wet track on Golden Slipper Day, I'm sure she'll be vying for favouritism because she glided through it in the Silver Slipper and made good horses look second rate.
Group 1's the time-honoured Coolmore Classic for the fillies and mares. Group 1. And what a race it is. 16 Rutkins is the favourite. Has to defy history. Only 3 runners in history in the last 30 years have carried this sort of weight and been able to win. And they are all Australian Horses of the Year and Sunlined in it twice.
$9.50, Steps in Time, $8 and solid. Arenosa, $19 into $17. Fire Up Fifi's $26, 14 into 10. So good money for the Japanese galloper, Henna's Gold, $14 into $10.
The leader is Steps in Time from Sweet Idea, Longport, and Catkins is running fourth. She looks to have got in probably with a half a trail there in fourth spot, followed by a Time for Julia. Then in behind them next is Benaria, followed by Shani Rose, Real Surreal, Scorpio Queen. Dear Demi looks to be right off the track, followed by Arenosa, Chair Valentina, and then Fire Up Fifi, Hannah's Gold, Gypsy Diamond and Royal Descent. Well, he's clapped the speed on here on Steps in Time. It's dashed away. It's about 5 in front coming into the straight in the Coolmore Classic from Sweet Idea. Then Longport, followed by Catkins, A Time for Julia. At the head of the others, Shani Rose and then Benaria, followed by Real Surreal. Steps in Time, still a big leader. Leads by about 3 or 4 on Sweet Idea. Then Shani Rose running on, followed by Catkins and A Time for Julia. Will these daring tactics pay off? Steps in Time in front. Sweet Idea is trying to close in on the outside. Steps in Time just the leader as they come to the post and wins it. Held on to win it. Steps in Time from Sweet Idea. Maybe Catkins third. They're a bit past the post when I got back to third, followed by Gypsy.
This is very, very close. Number 4 on the inside. It wins it. Number 4 inside, Steps in Time, 4 from 9, daring tactics, and it holds on. Jimmy Cassidy for Joe Pride, Steps in Time. There's the photo punters. Right.
Coolmore, 86 with Satin Sand, 95 with Flitter, 2004 with Shamika. What a star he is as a rider.
Well, I'm speechless, Richo. Look, I just love to see that sort of thing with jockeys that know what they're doing. Jimmy Cassidy's won this race. With all due respects to Steps in Time, Jimmy Cassidy has won this race for sure and certain.
Bruce Clark is catching up with some of the very happy connections.
Brucey, look, I'm a bit cocky, Brucey, but I said to Joe, if I can get cheap sectionals early and stay out a little bit wide and get her to come back underneath me, I said 600 from home. I said I'm metal to the pedal. Make the others carry their weight, Catkins and a couple of them other good mares. I knew they couldn't come from behind me and beat me. I knew Sweet Idea was going to be close.
The key stat there's 34.43 last 600 metres. Brilliant by Jimmy Cassidy, win number 102, a Group 1 level for him. Third crack at the race for Steps in Time. Gone from 8th to 4th to 1st. And another Coolmore.
But the genius part of the ride was he probably took off a half a furlong, about 100 metres before they expected it, right? And he was off and running, and suddenly they're all thinking, well, I didn't expect that, and they're all off the bit chasing, as you say, with big weights with some of those mares, and he just messed them up.
He did.
And it worked out beautifully in the end. She was getting very tired. The whole field was catching her. Look, hard to make excuses for anything behind her, really.
No. I thought Royal Descent was sensational. She was up in the weights as well. She was a mile back, and that was only her second up run. I know she hasn't won
something in it, yeah. And Hannah's Gold missed the start badly.
It looked awful.
Well, it may have, but it didn't run that bad. Craig Williams just sat on it the last 200 metres. He just let it run to the line, and she was still making a bit of ground.
It's got a dry coat on it. I'm surprised it ran so well.
She's won 1.7 million in stakes. She's not a bad horse, you know. It ran better than it looked.
They got $1 million maidens over there in Japan.
I'm telling you, it ran better than it looked. That's just my opinion.
An Australian Cup winner on your screens in Fiorente. We'll get to him very shortly in second. All right, let's have a quick look at the market here. Fiorente 250 to 280. It's a done deal 240 to 270. They're fighting out.
First of all, well, Carlton House is really stretching the lead here as they come down the side. 800 to go. About 6 or 7 lengths in front. Leads from Silent Achiever. Fiorente being urged along on the outside to come up a little bit closer. It's a done deal is stalking him every step of the way. Sartorius is under the stick, followed further back by Fortella. Then gone to Coro, Hawkspur and Moriarty. As they approach the turn, and Carlton House comes back to them. Leads only narrowly now from Silent Achiever. Fiorente on the outside. It's a done deal's had its back most of the way. He's hooking wide on it, and then came Moriarty down the outside. It's Carlton House giving a sight here. Got away from Silent Achiever. It's a done deal, and Fiorente will need to lift. They're both struggling for mine. It's Carlton House in front. Silent Achiever coming after it. It's a done deal trying to rally. Carlton House is in front. Little Silent Achiever is lifting and is going to get there. I think she lunges and wins. I think Silent Achiever from Carlton House in a bobbing finish. Third's either It's a Done Deal, or on the inside we've got Hawkspur, and then came Sartorius, followed by Fiorente, and then at the head of the others.
In front, Carlton House. Silent Achiever comes. They get close. Silent Achiever, it'll get it. It'll get it, but I'm not going to go the early crow. Here comes the photo. It wins. Number 8, Silent Achiever. Great ride, Nashua. Great ride show. Roger James, he's a star trainer.
Yeah, and himself. He gets the Group 1 win in Australia. It's the Ranvit. He joins Ridley.
It's second run back up here in Sydney after a flop in Melbourne, and it's ridden a lot better that way. I can't see It's a Done Deal beating Carlton House or Silent Achiever going in any race they contest further up this spring, autumn.
Well, more on that.
It's not confirmed that I'm hitting there yet.
Okay. Would you go to the BMW?
Yes, yeah, definitely goes to the BMW.
Some of the others in the race, these two big names, what do we make of Fiorente and It's a Done Deal?
Well, you'd have to say disappointing. I know It's a Done Deal is still only second up, but look, he's yet to...
$1 million George Ryder Stakes with Sacred Falls 650. Second favourite behind the stablemate, the mare, Red Tracer, Chris Waller's super mare, Red Tracer.
Most definitely. Let's go down the board. Number 1, Boban. Got out to $9, well back. Gordon Lord Byron, Barry's full brother. 17 out to $19. Mike.
550 to go. El Rocker, the leader, leads from Ninth Legion, being stalled along. Eurozone likewise, followed by Terra Vista. Red Tracer next. Sacred Falls cutting the corner, followed by Streamer, who's under the whip, and then Speediness. El Rocker led. Ninth Legion sets out after it with Terra Vista, and then down the outside, Red Tracer. Sacred Falls and Speediness next, followed by Eurozone. Still El Rocker in front from Ninth Legion. Speediness starting to dive up along the inside, and Gordon Lord Byron is making ground, but Speediness hit the front with 100 to go from Gordon Lord Byron. Speediness just in front. Gordon Lord Byron dived through, and Gordon Lord Byron has won it from Speediness and El Rocker. Then in behind them, Sacred Falls, followed by Toydini and Streamer, and then Ladari, followed by Ninth Legion. At the head of the others, Fat Al, and then Boban, followed by My Kingdom of Fife, and then Terra Vista.
You don't like knocking back invitations, and when they rang, you said, oh, come out.
Yeah, I know he's a proper horse.
You've been out there at Canterbury.
Wins $19, pays $20.40 and $5. Defeats Speed.
Well, I suppose, look, on international handicap ratings, he was the best horse in the race, and generally the best horse in the race deserves to win if he's in reasonable order, doesn't he?
Well, why was the best horse go around at $20? He shouldn't have been. Do you like a little bet, do you? Yeah.
Well, at $20.
Like a little bet, do you? Yeah.
Well, at $20, yes. So we had a small little one just to cover some of the expenses.
.au Rosehill Guineas, the classic 3-year-old race. A Group 1 race over 2,000 metres with some of the superstars of Australian racing.
Square last of all. The New Zealander Pacini is trotting along clear at the 600 by 2 lengths on Seamus Award and Order of the Sun. Surge ahead, saving ground on the inside. Terranado held up for a run. Then Thunder Fantasy, Dissident taking off out wide. So too is Hooked. Criterion is picking up ground near the inside. Pacini went to the centre of the track, but they're starting to move after him now. Criterion cut the corner and has dived through to hit the lead. Thunder Fantasy and Hooked are coming down the outside, and Terranado's not all that far away, but Criterion has shot away. He's well clear now from Thunder Fantasy, and then Hooked Hooked and Terranado. The Guineas is over. It's all over here. Criterion is going to bolt in. Criterion comes away and beats Thunder Fantasy. Terranado will get third in front of Savvy Nature, and then Dissident followed by Hooked and Cadillac Mountain Surge ahead. Then at the head of the others, Show the World, Tupac Amaru, Mr. 111.
Lengths up on the inside, went past them like they were stuck to the ground, and has won as you like. Number 3.
Hill, and he's been racing well in Melbourne this preparation. He came here, didn't have much luck in the Australian Guineas 2 weeks ago, and up to the 2000 he was aided by a pretty genuinely run race that suited him.
And we start with a classic weight for age race over 2,400 metres, and that is the BMW. Let's have a look at the market as we set up this great race with Fiorente. The Melbourne Cup, the Australian Cup winner is the favourite at the moment, ahead of Silent Achiever.
It'll be interesting to see who starts favourite, but the market mover here for the Group 1 BMW, it's a prestigious race, is the girl there in the
metre mark, showing out from in second spot Sartorius, Brigantine third. Let's Make a Deal on the inside. Silent Achiever's had a good run. She's back in fifth spot, one off the fence. Fiorente's a half away on the inside. Then Velusta Curse followed by Foreteller as the pace starts to quicken now. It's a done deal's on his lonesome at the back of the field. So running up now with about 650 to go. Angola in front, but they're about to collar it by the looks of it. Sartorius is starting to close in. Then Brigantine, Let's Make a Deal. Silent Achiever still being held together. Fiorente on its inside being sooled along. And It's a Done Deal is further back with Velusta Curse and Foreteller. Angola hugged the fence, but out wide Sartorius moved up now, and it's hit the front from Brigantine. Fiorente cut through about 4 or 5, and Silent Achiever is now called on down the outside. Here comes Silent Achiever. She's rocketing up on the outside. Fiorente the inside, and then Sartorius followed by It's a Done Deal. Silent Achiever broke away now with 100 metres to go. Fiorente on the inside, but Silent Achiever, the mare, does it again, and she wins it from It's a Done Deal and Fiorente. Then Sartorius, Velusta Curse, followed by Brigantine, Let's Make a Deal, Angola, and last in was Foreteller.
They might have thought it was an upset a fortnight ago. She just said, no, it wasn't. I'm better than them. And she comes back 2 weeks later. She was unlucky here 12 months ago. Silent Achiever, and a gun ride to our champion rider in National Willa. She was smoking the pipe. He got
at Royal Randwick. Where will Silent Achiever go? Where will Done Deal and Fiorente go? It's
John Killer, isn't she?
Was no fluke, and it was no fluke. She's a top-class mare, Silent Achiever, a homebred, O'Reilly, and well done to Roger James and National.
I think we spoke about it. We were tipping Silent Achiever this week. I thought she was a good thing. There's nothing, and I'll say it again, I don't think It's a Done Deal or Fiorente or those behind can beat Silent Achiever at 2,000 metres or 2,400. So they've got to make the decision. I know that I think Fiorente might go to the Sydney Cup, but It's a Done Deal can't beat Silent Achiever at 2,000 if Silent Achiever
Has
comes.
he been playing catch-up? Is he now where he needs to be?
Yeah, but if he keeps playing catch-up, and I think he's looking more like a mile-and-a-half Dower horse, so he's now got...
I must admit.
That's a better market.
That's it. $3.50, $4.60, $6. It's a Done Deal.
I think she's entitled to be favourite. Solid. But see, everyone's probably...
It's been a good mare, but she's flying at the moment.
Yeah, I don't know about might, it is. And we have to say she's the best horse in Australia at the moment. There's no doubt. She's been dominant. 4 starts with the blinkers, 4 dominant wins at the top level of the past 2.
You know what? It's a Done Deal. I think he's ticking over. I think he's the one going to the Queen Elizabeth that I like. He's had the 2,400 metre run now. Now they can do not much with him between now and the Queen Elizabeth, which means his feet will get a chance to recover a bit. I just think everything's...
But we're still talking about his feet. You know, surely...
From the second of our Group 1s, the 3-year-old fillies at Vinery Stud Stakes. Before we turn our $6.50 the field here for the Vinery Stud Stakes. Good luck here to the punters. The 3-year-old fillies, $6.50, and Zanbar is $8 into $6.50. So
Therese and Miss Mossman. Zanbar's on the outside of them. She's still at about 3 or 4 wide from Artistic Lass and Suavito. Then Rising Romance, who's in an awkward spot at the moment and looks to be losing a little bit of ground. Interspersed was next, followed by Lucia Valentina, whose rider's going to try and cut the corner. And Miss Von last of all. Solicit straight away in the early part of the straight. He opened up now on Solicit and she dashed away 3 or 4 lengths in front from Forever Loved. And then Lucia Valentina, who's running on strongly along the rail. Then Casino Dancer. Zanbar's not in the hunt. Lucia Valentina's out after Solicit. Solicit still in front. The New Zealand filly Lucia Valentina has grabbed her though. Lucia Valentina Valentina has hit the lead and is starting to race away. The New Zealanders are again. Beats Solicit and Forever Loved and Rising Romance, and then Zanbar, followed by Miss Von. Suavito interspersed, and then...
This is reminiscent of 7 days ago. Hugh Bowman on Criterion in the Rosehill Guineas. He saved the ground on number 13, Lucia Valentina. Sailed up on the inside, only had...
Valentina wins, defeats Solicit, Forever
Loved and Rising Romance.
Only a $60,000 purchase in New Zealand, and Chris Lee's underbidder was able to, when the horse started to find form in New Zealand, they said, we'll send it to Chris now because he likes her. I think he likes her even more now, and she is the favourite for the Oaks off the back of that.
Can't deny the performance of the winner. She got a mile back. She made a long, sustained run.
Yes.
And it was a very, very strong staying performance.
Indeed it was.
Whether we get carried away on wet tracks, I don't know. But how can you look beyond the first two there?
Feature of the day, the Tui's new Golden Slipper, Ronnie Quinton, at $2.60, $3 available on the tote. She is the dominant favourite. It also gives us great play. Favourite Earthquake.
And they're off and racing now. Moss Fun didn't come out all that well. She's last. And Oakley Girl began well and leads from Earthquake, and Eloping showing speed on the outside. And next is Law. Gibberlines is saving ground, one off the fence. Moss Fun saved a lot of ground up on the rail. She's picking up many lengths there. And wider out on the track as they turn was Cornrow into the straight now. And Eloping is in front with Earthquake moving up on the outside. Oakley Girl, Moss Fun down on the rail. And further back Jabali and then Gibberlines, but Earthquake in the centre of the track. And Moss Fun have hit the lead together. And then came Eloping, but it's Earthquake out in the middle. She's taken the lead clearly. Moss Fun is next, and down the outside Memorial's running on. Moss Fun's kicking back on the inside. Earthquake's dying in a run, and Moss Fun right along the rail has won it from Earthquake. Photo for third, Bring Me the Maid and Believe Yourself, followed by Memorial and Oakley Girl, and then Jabali, followed by Modoc. At the head of the others next we had Gibberline.
Not many people know, but he can't walk, and the only reason he's not here today because we've got the yearling sales coming up, and the couch sitter, he's sitting on the couch, and he must have kicked the shit out of it the last 200, because I know we did here. It was fantastic.
Look, we're going to ask James as well.
Defied the bias so many times and stayed to the fence.
He has late in the day. Well, we've seen it in a slipper before. I think Miss Finland, Feel and Ready even sort of not cut through right on the fence, but a lot of them, yeah, Sebring got back and sort of cut the corner as well. So probably not done to the same extent, but it certainly was a brave move on the day.
I'm not taking...
Golden Slipper this year, do you think they all had their chance?
Pretty well. Yeah, pretty well. I'd suggest no real excuses for anything, but the winner overcome difficulties and still got the money.
The Chairman's Handicap, a traditional lead-up, of course, to the Sydney Cup. Sartorius backs up from the BMW. The Offer and Opinion, who met last start in.
Followed by Like a Carousel. Here's the first move. Opinion is now hooking out to stride forward. Sartorius saw him coming, so he's been flushed out. And then further back, The Offer is letting them go for the moment, followed by Lucky Liaison and then Desert Journey. So they're starting to pack up. Hippopus put its head in front. 600 out. Hippopus and Tremec hit the lead from Retort Courteous. Sartorius being slapped down the shoulder. Then Like a Carousel, followed by Opinion. The Offer will need to get moving. He's hooked out pretty wide, but he's still giving the leaders a bit of a start. And then Lucky Liaison. It's Hippopus and Tremec in front, followed by Sartorius. Now The Offer is starting to pick up on the outside, and Desert Journey cut through down near the inside. The Offer is starting to stride up on the outer. He's coming up now to challenge. 200 to go. And The Offer, slugging through the ground, has hit the lead from Tremec and Hippopus, followed by Sartorius. But it's The Offer. Tommy Berry, good on you, Tommy. And The Offer's racing away, and he'll go down to win it from Tremec and Hippopus, followed by Sartorius, and then came Desert Journey, Like a Carousel, Opinion, Lucky Liaison, and last in Retort Courteous.
Yeah, good on you, Mark. Well done. Good on you, Tommy. Great call, Mark, but that's what we wanted to see. Tommy Berry, the punters were spot on. And I know he dedicates this win to his brother Nathan. He's been desperate to ride a winner for the last 7 days. You can see him just starting to swell in the mouth and in the eyes. And Tommy Berry, good on you, Tommy. He wins the Chairman's. He blows a kiss to his brother above. Number 3, the 6-3 in a slog, 36-28. So 2 1/4 lengths, though. A dominant win by this horse. Now the dominant.
Yeah, well, that was Nathan's win today. It's been the hardest week of my life, that's for sure, but no harder than it has been for Nathan himself. And
All at Ramwick yesterday. Good on you, Tommy. We'll hear from him shortly, but the offer, a Ballarat Cup winner in the wet, a Mannion Cup winner in the wet.
Very nice stayer too, the offer. He's now won the Mannion Cup and the Chairman's as well. And Ron, if they get a wet track on Sydney Cup Day, he'll be pretty hard to beat.
That's what it's all about. If it's a wet track, he'll start shorter than the price he is at the moment. If it's a dry track, he'll start longer.
Tend not to get as many heavy tracks, but he's got the right ones this week and he'll win here. Let me just say, the Randwick crowd were great here because when Tommy Berry came back to scale, the cheer for him was bigger than for any other race on the day.
So
and I think they understood, you know, what that meant in the context, and you know, I think that was it added to that race. It lifted it beyond where it possibly was class-wide.
Here he is. Yeah, it was a very special win, and we should point out too that a fund has been set up. Money raised will go towards research into Norse syndrome, and that's going to be conducted by the Epilepsy Society of Australia, and we'll bring up the details in just a moment how you can donate to that. It's look, it was a terrible.
The replays, the dogs are barking this. Who shot the barman?
The Kiwis will tell you it's going to win the Melbourne Cup.
Okay.
They love it.
Yeah, well, there's the biggest street corner tip in the world about him, so I'm going home to look at all his replays this morning.
The ATC Derby, what a classic race it has been over the years, and a big full field on testing conditions. We'll certainly know the best stayer coming out of this race, and the punters believe it's Criterion, who is the $3.10 favourite, ahead of Thunder.
Trio, then Savvy Nature, Criterion given every chance back along the fence. He's about 7 or 8 off the lead. A length to 2-Pack Amaru, followed by Singing Flame, Mountain View, Thunder Fantasy, then Terranado, Surging Wavers next, followed by Crime Fighter, Corabiti, Here's the Casino, and Gallatin quietly ridden at the rear. 650 to go. It's still Puccini in front. The Kiwi showing out from Surge ahead, Cadillac Mountain. Here comes 2-Pack Amaru letting loose. He's about to move up and make a line of 4. Then Best Case, Hooked is being held together on the rail, followed by Savvy Nature. Criterion's working away from the inside into the centre of the track, but 2-Pack Amaru out wide has gone up to Puccini, and then coming through into third, Criterion, and Hooked is running on strongly as well, followed by Savvy Nature, and then Cadillac Mountain. 2-Pack Amaru, Criterion and Hooked are fighting it out. It's now Hooked and Criterion getting ahead of 2-Pack Amaru, who's trying to come at them again. Hooked and Criterion. Criterion and Hooked, there's absolutely nothing between them. 2-Pack Amaru raises another effort, but Criterion wins it. Criterion beat 2-Pack Amaru. Hook got third from Savvy Nature. Then Puccini and Gallatin, Singing Flame, followed by Cadillac Mountain ahead.
He's won the Rosehill Guineas and he's backed up. The win wasn't as big, but he wins again. Number 1 Criterion. He wins the Australian Derby. He beats 2-Pack Amaru and Hook back along the inside. But number 1 Criterion, he's been the best staying 3-year-old, and he was too good again. Huey Bowman, he reckon he went back about a length of just to make it a Sebring in the Derby.
Yeah, that's unbelievable there, Richie. You know, we got him for the slipper. And it just shows you, there's no rules in racing.
There's no rules, but he's been
furnished, and you know, it makes a difference. When certainly, I said to him, please get off the fence. That's all.
And he did. I reckon he went
Australian racing, and there are the interim divs. 1 defeats 12, 9 and 4, 291.
One of those colours won a Victoria Derby with Monaco Consul. Huey's won 3 of the Victorian Derbies. Lion Tamer thanks to Polanski, and now gets his first in Sydney there with.
But I think the ride was as much about that horse winning as anything. It was a beautiful...
Well, that's how he rode him in the Guineas as well.
Yes, it was a beautiful ride. I don't think... Look, I know this never popular. I don't think they're a great lot. I think they're a pretty ordinary bunch of 3-year-olds.
Well, they rode 4th and 5th in the Victoria Derby.
Yeah. Well,
first and second there, 4th and 5th in the Victoria Derby.
Racing continues. We go to the Darley TJ Smith Stakes. Over 1,200 metres worth $2.5 million. Weight for age sprint over the 1,200 metres, and the highest rated horse in Australia is the favourite Lincoln Rupee. 380 out to 440, now into 420. Week 420.
I think the simple fact of the matter is if he handles the wet, he wins. I think he's the best sprinter in Australia and perhaps the world. So he was.
Seamus is last of all. 600 out, and the leader Lincoln Rupee leads by about 3/4 of a length on buffering. Schnitzerland's got into their slipstream running third, then Tiger Tease followed by Steps in Time, Billaverde, Sweet Idea, and Rebel Dane at the head of the others. Lincoln Rupee in front as they top the rise, buffering about 1.5 lengths away in second spot. Schnitzerland going it after them, but now Newitt draws the whip on Lincoln Rupee. He went into another gear. He raced away about 3 lengths on buffering, who's coming after him again, followed by Tiger Tease and Rebel Dane, but Lankan Rupee. This is a superstar of the turf. He's well out in front, and he'll get another Group 1. Lankan Rupee goes down to beat Rebel Dane and Buffering, and then came See the World, followed by Tiger Tease, Gordon Lord Byron, Sham Express Villaverde, followed by Sessions and Sweet Idea, then Famous Shamus, Steps in Time, Switzerland, Bell Sprinter.
They bet $4.40. And as Mark said, he's a superstar of the turf. He's the best sprinter in Australia, and I'll say it. I think he's the best sprinter in the world, Lankan Rupee, since he's been gelded. He's done the Oakley Plate. He's won, of course, the Rubiton, the Oakley Plate, the Newmarket, and now the $2.5 million Darley TJ Smiths.
Couldn't catch up with the sublime speed of Lankan Rupee. 370 and 190, starting price of...
He's got to this campaign.
But it's scary. I truly believe he could go anywhere in the world now and be dominant. He wasn't all that comfortable in the ground today. He just, once he flew...
But I reckon he's... I'm not saying he's Black Caviar, but I reckon as I watch him, he give Black Caviar a run for money on his day.
Well, that's big.
Yeah, it's true, but...
I reckon it's true too. Yeah. I reckon he would have given her a run for her money yesterday. We'll talk more about that. Samareddy's Andretti was the champion sprinter of her time and dominant. But I think this horse might actually have a higher top speed than even she had at her top. It makes him very special.
I think you're right there. Obviously,
do you think Rebel Dane ran really well?
Yeah, he stood alone, the winner, and he's one of them horses. You know, I hate to call him a champion, but he's done it on wet, he's done it on dry, he's done it left-handed, right-handed now, and printed.
That is exactly the word. They were outclassed by a horse who is world-class. The top of his game at the moment, I don't know how much better he can get. It'd be frightening if he can.
Yeah. Stablemates were good there. Tiger Tease.
Race in the world, it is the Star Doncaster Mile, worth $3 million. Let's have a look at the market. It's $4.80 the field, with Massini the favourite ahead.
Sacred Falls, Toy Dini, and Hannah's Goal is last of all. What about 700 in behind them? Next by Weary is tracking up about 4 or 5 wide on the outside of Dissident. Muro saving ground on the fence. And then Dear Demi giving a crack with the whip. Royal Descent is now peeling wide and is starting to run on with Weary. It's Night Legion taking the lead on the inside. He cut through and shot to the front, but Royal Descent is mowing it down on the outside. Weary's trying to go with it and getting up on the inside. Sacred Falls, but the Mudlark Royal Descent has raced to the front with Sacred Falls trying to go with it. Sacred Falls and Royal Descent. Sacred Falls, can he do it back to back? Sacred Falls does it. Back to back for Sacred Falls, beat Royal Descent and Weary. Waller gets first, second and third. Hawksburn may have run fourth, and then came Ninth Legion, Hannah's Goal. Followed in behind them by Massini El Rocker. Then at the...
that, and quite unbelievable, first 4. So, what a team we've got.
It is an amazing...
Think about that, 4 of the last 7, but the first 4 in a Group 1 race. We're trying to find someone in the world who's done that. That's an amazing performance.
I'm sure if you look far enough.
We're coming over the 6th horse to win back-to-back Doncaster. Of course, Sunline the other to win it twice, but years apart. Most recently, Pharaoh, and before that, the mighty Superimpose. Went from 50.
Another Darley runner, number 1, Sidestep. The track pattern is going to be a concern now for Sidestep.
Kieran McAvoy would know that.
Was King just racing a little bit greenly, followed by Sidestep trying to pick up in between horses. Shatak was with it, and then further back behind them, Safeguard and Nirvana. So bounding led for home from Dothraki on the outside, about a half a length away. Then Thump further back, followed by Never Can Tell Shamalia. Sidestep's trying to get in between horses, but it's bounding, holding Dothraki for the moment. Thumper's on the outside. Sidestepper's getting out later. Bounding still in front. Sidestepper's starting to fly on the outside. Sidestep lunge got up. Sidestepper's beaten Bounding, a great win. In Cahoots was third, and then Havana followed by Dothraki and Thump and Chautauqua, followed by Shamalia.
He actually showed a bit of desire here.
He did, but maybe this is how you got to ride him. Just produce him without letting him have a think about things, because they did a bit of work. He didn't get out to the 150 metre mark.
He ambushed them.
He ambushed, exactly.
Yeah, he's an ambush horse.
And it's interesting that he'll go... Peter Snowden doesn't...
Second of our features is the Australian Oaks. I'm joined by...
New Zealand Savannah Success. And I think the third one is Rising Romance. She flew home in the New Zealand Derby, but
This is absolutely the go of the day for such a huge race. Number 2, Lucia Valentina, Huey Bowman, and this favourite, Lucia Valentina, 2.10 in a $1.80.
Well, that's the Australian Oaks.
These are in line. Suavito followed by Lucia Valentina and Cast in Stone last of all. There'd be about 15 lengths covering the field, and Cuban Stars raced up on the outside of Amanpour and Forever Loved. A half a length Role Model fourth, then Rising Romance. It's had a dream run back on the fence. Then in behind their next Miss Mossman, followed by Blue Eyes. Zanbar taking off around the outside of Miss Vaughn, and further back Miss Selby, Casino Dancer. Lucia Valentina's starting to work into it, but she got pushed off the track there, and interspersed as saving ground on the rail. Amanpour and Cuban Star, but Rising Romance is now out into the clear, and it's sprinted up to hit the lead now. Rising Romance from Forever Loved, then Miss Selby, Zanbar and Lucia Valentina are coming from the back of the field, but Rising Romance is well out in front from Forever Loved. Lucia Valentina and Zanbar are storming home late, but Rising Romance, she ducked to the fence. She's still in front. She's stopping, but she's home, and she wins it from Zanbar and Lucia Valentina. Then in behind them, Forever Love, followed by Interspersed Suavito.
Well, they were the 3 fancies in the market. Number 3, Rising Romance. James McDonald for Donna Logan. Things a little bit differently this week. She was up out of trouble.
Great result for Donna Logan. Of course, had a BB here last year and gets the Oaks this year after a brilliant ride by James. The future for this filly, do you think? What level could she get to? It's Group 1 yesterday. That's an Oaks. What do you think come spring?
I definitely think she's got a great turn of foot, and especially over that 2,400 metres, not many can do it, and I reckon she'd be very good over 2,000 metres as well. Very
terrific. Lucia Valentina, I thought her run was humongous. Was huge.
It's great to have a New Zealand trainer on this morning, because we've got tweets coming through from your home country, all into Richard this morning. They just simply cannot believe the comment he made here on the program. Look at these just rolling through. 3 winners yesterday for New Zealand.
Sydney Cup, first run way back in 1866, and the Offer is the favourite. Ahead of the Kiwi, Who Shot the Barman. They're having a terrific day. So
Barman, $8 into $5.50. Good go this, $8 into $5.50. The Offer's the favourite at $3.30. Brigantine.
And the pressure's starting to be applied here with a line of 4, with Angola tackled by Tremec. Hippopus out 3 wide, and Like a Carousel 4 wide. Sartorius smoking the pipe behind them. Who Shot the Barman next, and then Opinion getting up on the rail, followed in behind them next by Brigantine. Gondokoro's out wide, followed by Velusta Kerr's 5th column losing ground. The Offer's trying to thread through the field in the middle from Desert Journey. Let's Make a Deal, and 2-Pack Amaru and a Pingala still a long way back. It's Angola leading as they turn for home from Opinion, leads it by 2. Then Sartorius and Desert Journey. The Offer is starting to thunder down the outside. Opinion's the leader, with the Offer ranging up on the outside. He sprinted better, hit the lead, and has shot away. It's the Offer, nicely out in front from Opinion, Brigantine and Sartorius, and Tommy Berry boots him home. The Offer wins the Sydney Cup in a canter. Opinion second, Sartorius third, then Brigantine, Pingle.
Oh, he's a serious stayer, this galloper. He toyed with a number 4, the Offer. He wins the Swept Sydney Cup. He won the Chairman's last week, and he blew them away today. Tommy Berry just rode it patient, pulled the button, pulled the trigger, and he just went crash, bang, wallop. Another Group 1 for Tommy and Gay.
Obviously, you're heavily involved in racing now. You're a lot bigger player than you probably were a few years ago. What's
Cho and
Tommy? That was a bit too easy.
No, well, starting to call that Nathan's horse now. He's two of the hardest things coming back here, and he's the first one to give me a cuddle, and he's not here to do that anymore, but I'm glad I've come back to riding, and I'm making him proud.
I'm sure, and you said you wanted him to ride a Group 1 winner, and you've done it for him.
Every race I win for the rest of my life is going to be for Nathan, and nothing in life is so good, and Data, he hasn't come to the races since I started, so he's come out on the right day. So
Come in here, good on you. There's the Berry family, and sometimes you don't need words, pictures will tell the story, and that's what it's all about here for the... Well, a horse who started life as Offer for Aidan O'Brien, won a race at Nace, now favourite for the Melbourne Cup after winning the Sydney Cup. Ran favourite and ran away from it.
Promoted, highly hyped. The scene is amazing as we get ready for the Longines Queen Elizabeth Stakes, worth $4 million. 9 of the 12 are Group 1 winners. They've amassed 23 for the Queen Elizabeth. before we go into the mounting yard and have a look at these equine superstars. And It's a Done Deal is the favourite, despite the little setback that it has had, and Silent Achiever is the second favourite.
Back of the field, coming down the side, 800 to go, and the foot's been to the floor from the time they've jumped. The leader is Carlton House by about 2.5 to 3 on My Kingdom of 5. It's a Done Deal's about 3 away. Silent Achiever starting to edge up a little bit closer now. And then came Toy Dini, followed by Loire. Boban held up for a run on the fence. Sacred Falls is picking up ground along the rail. And further back behind them, Hawkesburg, Green Moon, Royal Descent and Dear Demi. Carlton House has got further away coming into the straight. My Kingdom of 5 is gone, and now It's a Done Deal. It's setting it after the Royal Colours. It's Carlton House in front. It's a Done Deal, 3 away, another 3 lengths then to Silent Achiever, and then came Sacred Falls. Carlton House is still in front. It's a Done Deal is closing in with every stride, and then Sacred Falls, but on the outside It's a Done Deal has run to the front. Sacred Falls is coming after him. He's coming fast, but It's a Done Deal is hanging on grimly. He peaks when it counts. It's a Done Deal beats Sacred Falls and Carlton House. Then Silent Achiever, followed in behind them by Royal Descent and Toy Dini. Then at the head of the others,
Young rider continues his rise to fame. 4, 10 and 150. There's all the divs. Sacred.
Well, 10 career wins now for It's a Done Deal. 6 of those at the highest level. He's got a great stallion's future, but we hope to see him again on the racetrack. That decision to
frame of travelling in the right way there as well.
Carlton House took the sting out of a lot of horses, didn't he? He really took the sprint out of a lot of them, and you have to be a very good weight for age horse to be able to accelerate after being under pressure for that long.
It's funny when you say, you know, it was just an interesting race, and you can see it. You can see this is a real race because we've got the best we've got on offer, and look at the margin between first and last. This is a real race.
Yep, agreed.
John, just on Carlton House there.
The second of their Group 1s, and that is the Schweppes All-Age Stakes. Classic race, and we have a short price favourite in number 1, Rebel Dane, who's won 6.
To go off and racing. Hannah's Goal missed the start by about a length, and Tiger Tease came out well. Atlanta, Hannah's Goal. 600 out. Atlanta in front. Leads from Wood. Second last. Hannah's Goal at the rear. They start to come towards the home turn. Atlanta's rider getting off the fence, and that'll leave a run for Tiger Tease. Woodbine next. Rebel Dane on the outside. Boss is now giving him a slap down the shoulder to chase the leaders, followed by Sham Express. It's Atlanta in front from Tiger Tease. Sham Express is coming up along the inside. Then Rebel Dane, Bonetta, and Hannah's Goal is starting to jump out of the ground on the outside. Hannah's Goal, the Japanese mare, has come from well back, has claimed the lead, and has rocketed down to the line to beat Weary. Tiger Tease third from Sham Express, Rebel Dane, and then came in behind them next Bonetta, Woodbine, and last in was Atlanta.
Well, the Japanese get the last Group 1, this mare, Hannah's Goal. She's third run in a...
He come down here, he said, we were finding the Group 1s too difficult to win in Japan, so we went to Australia. Is that saying it's easier to win a Group 1 race in Australia than Japan?
Oh, definitely. Definitely. And look, she...
Better out there. But it's the first time since I've been watching her, and I've been to all the meetings that she's raced at. The Japanese horses win Group 1s all over the world. These horses, if they're not the best horses in the world, they're the closest thing to it, and she's not one of their best, but she's good enough to beat Group 1 horses here.
Well, Richard, they got...
And further back on the inside, Chautauqua and also Sinjor, and they run the corner. 350 to go. It's Dubawi Dream with on the outside Riker. Barb down the centre of the track. Northern Glory looks to run on. Twilight Royale, Chautauqua back to the inside. Then Spy Dakota. It's Riker at the 150 from Barb, Dubawi Dream. And Katie's Cove is darting through with Chautauqua at the 50. Chautauqua from Katie's Cove. Chautauqua, McDonald and Hawks again. Katie's Cove, side Riker, Barb down the centre of the track. Northern Glory looks to run on. Twilight Royale, Chautauqua back to the inside. Then Spy Dakota. It's Riker at the 150 from Barb, Dubawi Dream. And Katie's Cove is darting through with Chautauqua at the 50. Chautauqua from Katie's Cove. Chautauqua, McDonald and Hawks again. Katie's Cove second, Barb third, and then we had Spy Dakota and also Riker. Northern Glory, Estonian Princess.
Now Spirit of the Boom comes in. Temple of Boom's got the black cap on here. Spirit of Boom in the gold.
And for land to the inside, the first to come out of the Giffy, and 2.5 to Spirit of Boom. Well, he's going to get his chance late, that horse running last. On the bend, 500 metres left to go, and Schnitzerland and Temple of Boom and Someday in the middle. They came round the bend together. They're followed by Famous, Seamus, Sultanitz and Fire Up Fifi, and Spirit of Boom is coming to the extreme outside. Schnitzerland and Temple of Boom. They led past the 200 metres mark there, 2.5 clear. Spirit of Boom running home, but it's Temple of Boom. Temple of Boom's gone to the lead from Schnitzerland and Spirit of Boom. Temple of Boom in front, and it will be Temple of Boom from Spirit of Boom and a boil over. The stablemate, the roughie's got up. Schnitzerland has run third. They're followed by Salsa Nits and Someday, and then Famous Seamus, River Lad and Fire Up Fifi. Temple of Boom. The stablemate of the favourite, or the second favourite's bloused them.
Well, the dry track Boom beats the wet track Boom. A great result for Tony Gollan and Eureka Stud there. No knock on the win, $41.
See the last 600?
See the field, a wide open betting affair is the Goodwood. We'll take you there shortly.
For sure. Sistine Demon for, of course, Andrew Nobbett, a winner here already today.
Darcy Jack and Sistine Demon, the joint leaders. Miracles of Life's going through underneath them. Coming through as well was Riz Conservatorium deeper out with Platelet, and then Unpretentious, which has saved a heap of ground with Bell Sprinter. In the straight now, though, and it's Miracles of Life and Riz together from Gregors. Out wide, Platelet joins in from Conservatorium. Platelet, is it history? Platelet goes up to take the lead. Smoke and Joey flying. Platelet gathered in by Smoke and Joey near the line. Joey's got up. Smoke and Joey has beaten Platelet. Riz is third, Gregor's fourth. Then Cara Caddis next, ready to rep from the Tuz.
Group 1 as a trainer, Smoke and Joey and Benny Mellum. First day back riding after hip surgery and wins a Group 1.
Certainly cause an upset. There he was winning a Group 1. Who'd have thought? At 40 to 1 yesterday.
Me, how did that happen? You had him in the kennel. That might have been how it happened.
That might have been. That might have been. Look,
that was amazing. I thought it was Kingston Town coming down the outside.
He's a mystery horse. I'm not going to speculate on how or why he does what he does.
The team, the Titan Energy Services Group 1 Doomben Cup, and it's a tricky race. The favourite.
Run at them down the side towards the 600 metres mark. Lee Baz, 3 parts. Fat Al, a length away. Streamer on the fence. Mr. O'Kieran's 3 parts of a length away. They're followed by Floria. Here's Janoob trying to circle from Moriarty. Slow pace. Angel of Mercy and Axar's on the fence as they corner. Lee Baz at the 350, the leader. Here's Streamer coming up on the outside. Floria's on the fence. Moriarty's in the clear, and Janoob is starting to come down the outside to the 200 metres mark. Lee Baz joined by Streamer. Janoob next down the outside from Moriarty, but it's Streamer and Lee Baz with 100 metres left to go. Janoob running home well, but Streamer, she takes the lead. Streamer wins the Doomben Cup. Streamer from either Lee Baz or Janoob. Axars might be in the photo for fourth. He's not far away with Floria Moriarty. The next time, Mr. O'Kieran. Further back in the field then came Fat Al, followed by Angel of Mercy, and last home is Slow Pace, and what a mare she is. And what a ride from Blakeshin.
We'll start with the Group 1, race number 7. She has now won 4 Group 1s in her career, a Flight Stakes, an ATC Oaks, a George Main and a Doomben Cup.
There's the market for the JJ Atkins, and obviously Brazen Bow's a solid favourite. This horse, Alma Lad, who won at Randwick yesterday, he was only having his second start. I reckon he could be a threat. I know this is only 1,200 metres first up, and it's all happening too soon for him, but this horse is very strong. Gay can do it. She'll have him. He looked fairly fit yesterday. Look at him savage the line. So, Al, I reckon you should be looking out for this horse in Queensland. He could be a threat over the mile to Brazen Bow.
Yeah, he's in the Bruce right on start time for the big Group 1, Doomben 10,000, and buffering on course 440 out to 480, Rebel Dane 480. There is money for number 10, Treefontaine.
Valeria, buffering controls the 10,000 at the 800 metres mark. He's a length over Hot Schnitzel. Temple of Boom third on the inside of Treefontaine. Conservatorium out deep on the track. Spirit of Boom back behind those on the rail. Then Perron trying to go forward. They're followed by Famous Seamus, Rebel Dane picking up some ground, and they're followed by Scream Machine. and Noidata's last of all. They're coming round the bend, 350 to go. Buffering heads up for home. He's kicked the length in front of Hot Schnitzel, trying to get after him, followed by Temple of Boom, Spirit of Boom getting in the clear, and here's Rebel Dane starting to hurdle down the middle of the track. Buffering joined by Temple of Boom, Spirit of Boom, and Rebel Dane down the extreme outside. Big finish. Temple of Boom and Spirit of Boom. They hit the line, and Spirit of Boom got up and won the 10,000 from either Temple of Boom or Buffering from Rebel Dane. The next time, Scream Machine, Neudart. Back behind the Driefontein, Hot Schnitzel, Famous Seamus, Conservatorium, and Perron has pulled up at the tail of the field, and Spirit of Boom is a Group 1 winner in the Doomben 10,000. Well, Michael Rod almost was a sidecar.
Right on the line, Temple of Boom. Spirit of Boom, the winner. From a brave Temple of Boom, 630 Buffering.
Yes, it was the Boom horses. Spirit of Boom over Temple of Boom. There was 3 Queenslanders in the race, and they ran 1, 2 and 3. One's been any better than the other?
I think the only difference between them has been their liking for the different tracks. Spirit's probably a slightly better horse on good ground, and Temple's a little bit better on rain-affected ground.
But Buffering, I guess we're always evaluating. I think he's plateaued off in his old age, and he's probably on the decline now, because he used to have the wood on the Boom brothers, but now they seem to have the wood on him.
Queensland, the Sky Racing Queensland Guineas, a Group 2 race over 1,400 metres worth $350,000. They're loading very quickly.
The outside, so too, Safeguard. Liberty's Choice, Dothraki, Olympic Anthem, followed by Jazz Song, Agadir, further back, Quest for Peace and Costa Viva. They come to the 200 metres mark, and Riker the leader. Dothraki's getting off the fence. Liberty's Choice is still there from Safeguard and Olympic Anthem, but Riker is still the leader with 100 metres left to go. Liberty's Choice. Look at Jazz Song starting to absolutely motor down the outside. Horses everywhere. Oh dear. Liberty's Choice. Some moments got home. Jazz Song, Olympic Anthem, Riker. They're all across the track. Palmyra Lad.
With Sir Moments, looks like it will get there. Liberty's Choice may be second. It is closely storming down the outside, just ahead of 4 Liberty's Choice, 8 Riker.
The bigger track of Eagle Farm.
Yeah, look, it was a blanket finish. What a terrific finish this was, and probably the most unlucky horse, if he hadn't have won, would have been the winner, because...
And there they go, off and racing. Now coming out well, Sharma Dioro in the centre with Aperture, and on the outside, Felines Beganmo going up on the outside. And then about 4 or 5 lengths to Winx, who's beaten for speed. So is Lucy's Look there, a long way off the lead, settling down. Vaselka's about to go past them. And Ultimate Dancer last of all. At the 600, the leader, Aperture, led by a length and a half, Feline, Sharma Dioro. Urata Bell's getting a good run back along the rail. And then Kokomo, followed by Vanishka and Vaselka. Winx is now picking up a little bit of ground via the rail. Lucy's Look is not travelling. It's second last and getting its ears scrubbed off. And Ultimate Dancer's last. Aperture led for home. Felines is coming out after it on the outside. And then Sharma Dioro. Winx is now getting to the centre of the track and is hitting the line well. And Urata Bell, but Feline sprinted. Winx is coming after it down the outside. Feline's the leader. Winx is closing in on the outside. It's finishing very fast. Gets up. Good win. It's Winx beating Feline's ride. And then Sharma Dioro. Winx is now getting to the centre of the track and is hitting the line well. And Urata Bell, but Feline sprinted. Winx is coming after it down the outside. Feline's the leader. Winx is closing in on the outside. It's finishing very fast. Gets up. Good win. It's Winx beating Feline's, Urata Bell third. Then Sharma Dioro followed in behind there with the line. Didn't look like it stopped. It sat out solid lead and sprinted away, but Winx has put up a big performance to win on debut.
For the JJ Atkins and Brazen Bow, Chrissy Waller, a winner in Sydney. He's had a winner in Melbourne. He's chasing a Group 1 victory in Brisbane. Gai Waterhouse has got Alma Lad.
Time for Warren. Alma Lad came round the bend, 2.5 Brazen Bow and Stroke. Careless is next on the outside as they come around the corner. And Pressing's now pulled out to make its run, and looks like the Cat is next. Time for Law led, 300 metres to go. Alma Lad, and here's Brazen Bow splitting them in the middle now. They're followed by Careless, and Pressing is next and Furbish, but Brazen Bow went to the lead inside the 200 metres mark. Alma Lad's having another the Deputy on the outside. Looks like the Cat trying to get out. Elmalad and Brazen Bow together. Elmalad and Brazen Bow, they come to the line. And Elmalad has won it from Brazen Bow, and looks like the Cat. Pressing will be fourth in front of Careless in the next Time for War, followed by Furbish Mojave.
Today, and he landed a Group 1. Al Malad. Alan, that youngster was only having his third start in a race, so I think it's pretty fair to say that he's got a very bright future.
He certainly has. He's got plenty of ticker because Brazen Bow had him cold at the furlong pole. Elmalad came around the corner awkwardly. He raced outside the lead of Brazen Bow, box-seated on the fence. He went up, hit the lead, and the other horse outgunned him, out-fought him to the line.
One's Carnival. This was an amazing performance. He fired him out of the barrier. He over-raced. He hung. He did everything wrong. He looked beaten. He rallied. He was 1,200 to a mile. He's a serious spring prospect. The second horse, Brazen Bow, is a serious sprinter. He belied his pedigree even running in this mile race. He's going to be a force in the spring as well, believe me. He's a serious very good three-year-old sprinting horse and trained like a sprinter. He'll react.
Bring you up to speed with what's happening. The Stradbroke, there it is, the market for the Stradbroke. $8 Red Tracer, $8.50 Spirit of Boom. Put them into market order, and the three-year-olds lead them off here. $6 each of two. Hucklebuck and Srikandi.
And last of all, Smoke and Joey. 700 metres left to go. Riverlad on the outside and Temple of Boom. They led together from Conservatorium. Spirit of Boom's gone up fourth. Srikandi is fifth on the rails. They're followed by Emblem, Scorpio Queen, Hucklebuck on the fence. Then Noi Dart, Reparations, Beltone, Famous Seamus, Sacred Star is next. And Rebel Dane is going to come to the extreme outside. It's Temple of Boom and Riverlad at the 400. Srikandi easing off their heels now and about to sprint. Spirit of Boom trying to go with it. Hucklebuck's behind those, and then Scorpio Queen and Rebel Dane down the outside. Temple of Boom, Riverlad, Srikandi and Spirit of Boom on the outside. Temple of Boom and Riverlad, they might fight it out. Riverlad, Temple of Boom, they hit the line. Riverlad won the Stradbroke from Temple of Boom. Srikandi will be third in front of either Spirit of Boom, Hucklebuck, Sacred Star, Rebel Dane's close up, Smoke and Joey, Red Tracer. They're followed by Emblems, Famous Seamus, Beltone, Reparation, Scorpio Queen.
But what about this? The richest race in Queensland, and Natalie McCall comes from a great racing family on the Sunshine Coast, and she gets D. Oliver, who only got the ride off the back of a decision by Timmy Bell not to ride it. He wanted to ride Sacred Star.
Those barriers came out. There was a lot of alarm bells ringing, but look at the result in the Stradian where they started from. Riverlad 15, Temple of Boom 14, Srikandi 13.
There you go.
So
I always have a giggle
it's
at
not
the
the end of the
barrier
world.
draws. Particularly the Melbourne Cup barrier draw always makes me laugh. They all wring their hands and tear their hair out, and it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. It only matters after the gates open, not before.
In fact, for a Stradbroke, it was an absolute farce, really.
The slowly run race.
The speed of the race. Look, 1, 2, 3.
Yeah.
They settled 1, 2, 3.
Yeah.
And that doesn't happen in Stradbrokes as a rule. There was a lot of ill-judged rides here, in my opinion.
What about...
And they're set off and racing, and Winx came out probably about a neck behind them. It'll settle down second to third last on the inside. Ins and Outs beat them out. Winx is over on the inside, and Joadja's still back last of the six as they start to back the speed off now. But 6 lengths first to last. Ins and Outs in front, leading from another rail. Win for Levi being stalled along in third spot, wanted to drop the bit. Winx is picking up ground via the inside. Runs appearing for her there. Then Detachment back at a second last, and Joadja last of all. Ins and Outs in front from another rail, and then Winx has gone back towards the inside here looking for a run, but their run's ended there for it. He might have to change course and come to the outside again. Ins and Outs still in front from another rail. He's drawn the whip on Winx. She's taken a little time to wind up. Now she's starting to hit her straps. Ins and Outs in front. Now Winx is starting to knuckle down. Ins and Outs in front, but Winx moved up on the outside. She responds when asked by the rider and comes away, wins it impressively. Ins and Outs got... And then Winx has gone back towards the inside here looking for a run, but their run's ended there for it. He might have to change course and come to the outside again. Ins and Outs still in front from another rail. He's drawn the whip on Winx. She's taken a little time to wind up. Now she's starting to hit her straps. Ins and Outs in front. Now Winx is starting to knuckle down. Ins and Outs in front, but Winx moved up on the outside. She responds when asked by the rider and comes away, wins it impressively. Ins and Outs got second, another rail third. Then Joadja followed by Win for Levi and last. He's drawn the whip on on Winx. She's taken a little time to wind up. Now she's starting to hit her straps. Ins and outs in front. Now Winx is starting to knuckle down. Ins and outs in front, but Winx moved up on the outside. She responds when asked by the rider and comes away, wins it impressively. Ins and outs got second, another row third. Then Joadja followed by Win for Levi and last